Have you ever had something happen that was so strange, so perfectly timed, it made you stop and wonder, was that really just a coincidence? Maybe you were thinking about someone you hadn't seen in years, and then, out of nowhere, they called. Or maybe you saw the same symbol over and over again, a number, an animal, a word, and somehow it felt like it meant something important, something personal, almost like the universe was trying to speak to you. No, you're not imagining it. You're not going crazy. There's a name for this mysterious phenomenon. Carl Jung called it synchronicity, and it might just be your soul trying to get your attention. What is synchronicity? Synchronicity is not superstition. It's not fantasy. It is a deep psychological principle proposed by one of the most brilliant minds of the 20th century, Carl Gustav Jung, a psychiatrist, yes, but more than that, a scientist of the soul. Jung believed that sometimes our inner world and the outer world mirror each other in ways that logic cannot explain. Not because one caused the other, but because they share a symbolic connection that is deeply meaningful to the person experiencing it. Think about it. A dream that echoes real events. A phrase in a book that speaks directly to your current struggle. A stranger who says exactly what you needed to hear. It feels like the universe is responding to something inside you. Because maybe, in a way, it is. When synchronicity strikes, synchronicity often shows up when we're on the edge, during moments of crisis, heartbreak, loss, or transformation. When our carefully constructed reality begins to break down, something deeper rises to the surface, the unconscious, but it doesn't speak in plain language. It speaks in images, in symbols, in patterns, in repeated events that rattle our certainty and open a door to something beyond logic. These moments are not mistakes. They are calls, from within, from the depths of your own psyche, trying to guide you, trying to wake you up. But here's the problem. Most people dismiss them. They say, it's just a coincidence. But you know it's not. You feel it in your bones. You feel it in that moment of silence that follows. A pause in reality where something shifts. The symbolic language of the unconscious Jung didn't believe the unconscious was just a storage space for repressed memories. He saw it as a living, symbolic intelligence, a force within you that holds your fears, yes, but also your potential, your path, your transformation. And when your conscious life drifts too far from what the unconscious wants to express, the unconscious pushes back. Through dreams, through art, through symbols in everyday life that feel like they carry a message. These messages often show up in the most unlikely ways. A recurring number, a song that seems to speak to you, a random event that shifts your entire perspective. Synchronicity is how the soul speaks when it cannot be ignored any longer. Interpreting synchronicity. But here's the key. Not every coincidence is meaningful, and not every symbol is a prophecy. Synchronicity only becomes real when it resonates deeply within you. It's not about magical thinking. It's about meaning. To interpret synchronicities, you must look inward. Ask yourself, what did this event awaken in me? What part of me needed to see this? What am I going through right now that might be calling this symbol into my life? You see, synchronicities often emerge during psychological transitions, when the old self is dying, and the new self has yet to be born. And the unconscious is urging you toward that rebirth, using the language of symbol and story to guide you through the unknown, beyond the personal, the collective unconscious. But Jung also discovered something even more profound. The unconscious is not just yours. Beneath your personal memories and wounds lies something deeper, the collective unconscious, a shared psychic layer made of symbols and archetypes that have existed for all of human history. The mother, the hero, the shadow, the serpent. These aren't just stories. They are blueprints of transformation encoded in our psyches. And when synchronicity taps into one of these archetypes, the impact is powerful. You don't just feel seen, you feel connected to something bigger. You feel aligned. Jung saw alchemy as a perfect metaphor for this process. The transformation of base material, lead, into gold. In psychological terms, it's the transformation of confusion into clarity, pain into wisdom, wounds into strength. Synchronicity acts as a catalyst for this transformation. The trap of wishful thinking. But be careful, synchronicity is not wish fulfillment. It's not the universe giving you what your ego wants. It's the unconscious showing you what your soul needs. And that message is often uncomfortable. The ego seeks confirmation. The unconscious offers truth. And truth can be painful, because it asks you to grow. That's why true interpretation of synchronicity requires brutal honesty. It requires self-awareness. It requires humility. Your invitation to transformation. So if you're seeing signs, if you're noticing patterns, if reality itself seems to be nudging you, maybe it's not an accident. Maybe it's not madness. Maybe it's your soul speaking through the cracks in your certainty, whispering, "There's more to your life than what you can currently see." Synchronicity is not a destination. It's an invitation to slow down, to listen, to reflect, to align your outer life with your inner truth. So the question isn't whether these moments are real. The question is, are you ready to hear what they're trying to say? Carl Jung believed that life isn't random, that there is a deeper order trying to guide us back to ourselves, not with explanations, but with symbols, not with logic, but with meaning. If this resonates with you, if you felt it, lived it, questioned it, then you already know. You're not crazy. You're awakening, and the journey has just begun. If this message spoke to you, consider subscribing. Because this space is for you, the seekers, the questioners, the ones listening for the deeper message beneath the noise. Welcome to your path. You didn't arrive here by accident.